Well, the player ratings of the last game of the Premier League, here they come. Remember, we are left with one game to play next Saturday against Man City. While talking to the fans of Manchester United, Erik ten Hag had a very huge package to tell the fans of Manchester United at Old Trafford. He really told them that please make sure you come back here. You come to Wembley, and obviously we make it a point that we win against Manchester City. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Ten Hag is really a man who doesn't really eat his words. He's a man who really comes in through and obviously hails his players. He believes in his players, and he went ahead and we told them that I believe you can do the job. That's it. I believe you can do the job, and being able to do the job is something that Ten Hag trusts the players with. Then he told the fans that come to Wembley on Saturday and evidence how these players are going to put their bodies on the line as you cheer alongside them. Then they can go ahead and really win against City. And so he showed how much he believes in these players, and everything looks like is ready to see to it that Ten Hag goes head to head, all toe to toe with Man City at Wembley. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Let's go to the goalkeeper, David De Gea. To me, he kept us in the game. He makes the most important save of the game. That's it. It was not only the penalty, but in the second half, he came in through and obviously did some other three more saves that really kept us in that game, and obviously won it by 2-1. Imagine if at all that game had went two goals down, you know, at the half hour mark. Guys, do you know how much energy would have gone ahead to need to kill it off? Would have needed a lot of energy. Casemiro would have gone ahead to play 90 minutes. Bruno would have played 90 minutes. Rashford 90, you know, Malacia would have been brought on early enough, you understand? So Ten Hag would have gone ahead to really have his plan distorted, but because of David De Gea's penalty save, he really went ahead to do the needful. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 for me. I'm giving David De Gea an 8 out of 10 for me because it keeps us in the game. Ball distribution was really on point. Then he found himself in a position of really saving us 3 times in the second half. So I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. Diego Dalot, you know, he made the first chance of the game for United, I think in the third or second minute, when Bruno Fernandes went in for the far post cross, you know, and then Dalot met it and he made a cutback, you know, though Fred never capitalized onto it. But it was a very good service from Dalot. And Dalot found himself really closing down Willian very well. Secondly, he found himself in positions of already passing that ball. And I like the competition between Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If at all every position at Manchester United can be having players or 2 players competing for positions like that, then we will be a team that will be there to really compete. Because if at all you get players competing for competitions like that, meaning that when you bring in Dalot, he'll have to give in 100 plus 10, 100, more than 100%. Bissaka will do the same, and obviously it's the team that benefits. When competition is really huge among his teammates, it raises the quality of what these players put out on the field of play. So we need to add in more quality. That's why we urge the board to go on and really back Erik ten Hag and get him exactly what he wants as a manager. So I'm giving Dalot a 7 out of 10. We go to Malacia, another one, solid performance. One thing I like about this guy, you know, he's press resistant, he's tenacious, and he rarely puts a foot wrong, you know. He doesn't pass blindly. He doesn't do blind passes, you know. I like his confidence on the ball, you know. He's really a very good player. And one thing that has kept him below Luke Shaw is simply one: the end product to his game. If he can improve and really start to really getting the best out of his end product to the game when he reaches the final third, then he's really going to be one of the best left backs in the league. But I think if at all Ten Hag is going to hate to really make Aaron Bissaka try to start giving us a better end product, then I think Malacia will come good soon, especially when it comes to the final delivery. Playing as a left back defensively, he's okay. His offensive end game should be one of the things that should really embark on and obviously make better. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10 for me. When we go to Lindelof, oh my god, this guy, we all knew how good this player is, how press resistant is, how good at passing is, but the previous managers, even Mourinho who bought him, never got the best out of him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never got the best out of him. Guess who has gotten the best out of Lindelof? It's Erik Ten Hag. Every game that Lindelof plays, he's just becoming better and better and better. And I'm loving the way he really plays, When you look at the way he plays, it just shows you that he's really confident. And I'm sold onto a thought that in the finale of the FA Cup, let him partner Varane. That's it. Because it's so good. When you're playing a team like Man City, you'll need a player like Victor Lindelof, who's so much press resistant on the ball and is a good passer, because we are only going to rely on moments. That's it. We are not going to dominate the possession of Man City. That's out. We just have to go on and really rely on moments. And that one moment can be really produced by a single pass of Victor Lindelof, because he's really press resistant and a very good passer of the ball. So Lindelof, 7.5 out of 10 for me. He did a lot. If I'm to talk about what Lindelof did onto that head of play, we can even reach morning. That's it. It shows you how good he was on the day. 7.5 out of 10 for me. Harry Maguire, sincerely speaking, to me, he was the worst player on the field of play. That's it. He was the worst player on the field of play. That is Harry Maguire. So, the first goal, I told you during the match reaction what he did. You know what he did? No one was marking him. Dalot was behind him, and he was not into his position, because that's supposed to be the position of Dalot. And then he found himself in a position of heading that ball to go into the corner when he had no pressure. If it was Rafael Varane or Lisandro Martinez, would have gone ahead to control that ball and maybe just pass it to David De Gea. Or call David De Gea that it's your ball, come and get it. We concede in there for you. The penalty, it's because of Harry Maguire's blind pass he does, And then they counter-attack us, and obviously Casemiro finds himself in a position of really fouling the player in the 18-yard box area, hence causing that havoc. But David De Gea came to our saving, so I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. I know some of you will call in for a 5 out of 10, but I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Now, Casemiro, God can hear our prayers. We've all been saying that all what we want is to see Casemiro getting back in his shape towards the game of Man City, the FA Cup finale. And the previous two games against Chelsea, and this one, Casemiro is back. Is back to the Casemiro that got sent off in the game of Southampton. He has gone ahead to score 2 goals in his previous 2 games, and yesterday you saw that even spared some time to really release likes of Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes. He made runs into the 18-yard box area, though Bruno couldn't really deliver a pinpoint cross to really find him and locate him to really put those balls at the back of the net. All in all, to me, he was one of the best performing players on the field of play, and I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. That is Casemiro. He deserves an 8 out of 10. He really looked good, and I think he is becoming more and more better. And next season, I believe he's going to put in performances that are going to silence everyone that he's the best CDM in the world, not only in the Premier League but in the world, because this season was him getting used to the Premier League. Now, he has gotten used to the Premier League. Guess what is happening? Next season is going to be his biggest season in the Premier League. He knows everything, and now he's well conversed with what is happening in the league. 8 out of 10 for Casemiro. Fred Rodriguez, oh my god, he's another one whom you think that the minutes he got yesterday were very, very important, guys. The minutes he got yesterday were very, very important, because he got some minutes against Chelsea, like 30. Then he went ahead to play close to 60 minutes in the game of Fulham at Old Trafford. So he was responsible for the first goal, though the assist never went to him. The ball came off a player off, but it was his run. He risked himself and ran into 3 defenders, and then the defender used his front boot to poke the ball, and obviously it went into the vicinity of Sancho, and Sancho tapped it into the back of the net. Now, after that, the second one, the assist came to him. The magical pass that really put up was really important for Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno did justice to it and really made it count by dinking it over the goalkeeper Bernard Leno towards the straightforward end, and the entire crowd was really roaring for Bruno's name. So I'm giving Fred an 8.5 out of 10. He really looked good. He really looked good yesterday. And we go to Jadon Sancho. Ten Hag told us he likes to play off the left, but I think Sancho's going to have to produce his best performances ever since he returned from rehabilitation when he's playing off the right. I understand, as the season was really starting, he played off the left, I think, on how many games? Liverpool, Leicester, Southampton, Arsenal, and all those games that I'm going to hate to mention at the beginning of the season. He played well when he's playing off the left, but ever since he returned from rehabilitation, we hadn't seen the best of Sancho. But these 2 games, Chelsea and Fulham, he has really looked sharp. But the manager told us that Anton is going to return for the finale against Man City. So let's wait and see whether Sancho is going to be played into that position. So we are giving Sancho an 8.5 out of 10. I believe he's one of those players that deserves his props. Consistency calls in for a person to go on and obviously get the best of a result that he deserves into this beautiful game of football. And I'm giving him an 8.5 out of 10. Then we go to Alejandro Garnacho. All right, he got one chance, went in for a shot. It hit the crossbar and obviously rattled off the crossbar, and he was not lively. And that is something that Ten Hag is going to hate to let him know, that you've shown us that you can do better each and every time you come off the bench. Now, when you are given a position to start, can you really perform? I believe he just needs used to getting started, I understand, and that is going to come in the preseason, because I believe in the preseason Ten Hag will make him start some games as he really prepares him for the season. As I've always told you, that Garnacho is really going to be one of the best competitors of Marcus Rashford next season. Garnacho is going to give Rashford a run for that position. So I'm giving Garnacho a 6.5 out of 10. Let me give him a 7. 7 out of 10. Then I go to Marcus Rashford. Obviously, we know his problem. He cannot do the hold up play while leading the line. Selfish, and he never got. I think he just got one clear-cut chance. That's it. But our midfield doesn't create very many chances for our number 9s. That's it. And that is something that we should go ahead and really improve in the preseason. We need to see our midfield create very many chances for our number 9s, because whoever is there doesn't get chances. Who got a chance? It was Wout Weghorst. Remember that Sancho assist that he makes for Wout Weghorst, in the dying minutes of the game, and Weghorst misses it. It never even went on target. That was really bad. So if we can create such chances, like the one they created for Anton Martial in the game of Chelsea and the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers, that's what we call clear-cut chances. Those are sitters, and it's all caused by the patience and composure of those players. So I'm giving Rashford a 7 out of 10. Let's go to the subs that will come on through. Scott McTominay, 6.5. Ericsson, 6.5. Anton Martial, 7 out of 10. Then there is this other player who came on through, Facundo Pellistri. I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10. He makes a very beautiful run, gives Anton Martial ice cold, gives it to Sancho. Sancho takes his time, composes himself, looks to the far post. He sees the run of Wout Weghorst, and he makes a very good chip towards the back post, and Weghorst just never did justice to that ball. So Pellistri made a very good run, and he shows you those flashes of quality every time he's brought on. That's why I'm giving him a 7.5. He was tracking back very well, and then whenever he got that ball, he really looked press resistant. You know, he looked secure with the ball, and he has the minerals to take on players. With his low center of gravity, he is really one of those that you have to reckon with next season, if at all Ten Hag really gave him a perfect loan. And I think, as they did to Amad Diallo, I think he's going to be given a perfect loan. And I think he's going to Premier League clubs. That's it. Premier League clubs should sign this player on loan. And which other came on through? I remember they took off Casemiro, Fred, Bruno Fernandes. Rashford was taken off. Oh, Wout Weghorst is the 5th substitute. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. That's it. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Your thoughts onto these player ratings are welcome in the comment section below. I remain Rokan David. My man of the match, I'm going for Jadon Sancho. That's it. Jadon Sancho. I know others will go for Fred, but I'm going in for Jadon Sancho because he really looked great. And for the previous 2 games, Sancho is really looking great. And my man of the match is Jadon Sancho. Erik ten Hag, 8 out of 10. That's it. 8 out of 10. He risked his players, played them for 60 minutes, and then he took them off. Casemiro, Fred, then Marcus Rashford, and then Bruno Fernandes was taken off later. So he risked those players and he took them off, making them prepare for the biggest remaining game in the season, the FA Cup finale. Yes, sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Good morning.